Hello everyone, this is the King of Dogs, here for another low-effort video made in Google Slides, because I have nothing better to do. Unlike the last one, however, this time I actually have a script made for me. So today, we're going to be asking the question, what's going to happen after the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC? Well, I'm sorry, but I don't think it's going to be Mario Kart 9, nor Mario Kart Ultimate. And why is that? Well, it mostly comes down to the fact that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is going to have 96 courses. Making another Mario Kart game is either going to result in people skipping it because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has far more courses, or feeling ripped off because the new game has more content for just the price of the game with no DLC attached. So, you might be asking, well, if it's not Mario Kart 9, and it's not Mario Kart Ultimate, what could it be? Well, I feel like some of you might have already guessed. You're reading that right. I think we're getting Super Smash Kart. That old leak, I think the leak that said that Mario Kart 9 was in development with a new twist, I think it actually might have been legitimate. After all, if the game had only just started development, I doubt they would have had revealed it that early. They'd at least get somewhat into development before teasing it. I don't think Mario Kart 8's DLC debunks the leak at all. So with that in mind, what kind of roster could I see us getting? Well, as you can see, a large part of this roster was Mario characters, which makes sense, considering Mario is Nintendo's flagship franchise. In addition, only 4 out of the 40 characters in this roster aren't playable in Smash, but that's less important. So what you might be confused about is the omissions. Where are the other Links? Where are the other Samuses? Where's Ridley? Where's Shulk? Stuff like that. Well, a major part of this roster is that I took inspiration from Mario Kart DS's kart selection. Every character gets a basic standard kart, a basic standard bike, and a signature kart. I even debated having 2 signature karts, but in the end I decided that would make deciding the roster even harder, as I would need to use characters who have driven multiple vehicles, or ridden multiple vehicle-like things. There's also another reason for these omissions I'll get into later, but for now, let's take a look at some of the karts, shall we? Mario's signature kart would be the B-Dasher, his signature kart from Mario Kart DS, and a kart that has appeared in multiple games since then. It's fairly standard, with a pretty decent speed, and very balanced stats overall. Luigi's signature kart would be the Poltergust 4000, his own signature kart from Mario Kart DS. Bowser would drive a scaled-down version of the Koopa Chase from Super Mario 3D World. The fact that this isn't a car in Mario Kart already is wild to me. Bowser Jr. would drive the Koopa Clown. Peach would drive the Royale, her signature kart from Mario Kart DS. And Daisy would drive. I can't speak. I don't think making a script was that helpful. But Daisy would drive the Power Flower, yet another signature kart from DS. Now, Rosalina was a tough one, but I felt that the Shooting Star from Mario Kart Wii was the best choice. It is also the first signature bike of the roster. Moving on, Wario's signature vehicle was the easiest of the entire roster to choose. I went with the Wario bike. Waluigi was fairly tough, but I went with the signature kart from Double Dash, the Waluigi Racer. Now, Donkey Kong was an obvious pick. I went with the minecart, and don't worry, this isn't the last minecart you'll see in this video. Now, Diddy Kong, I had to use the car from Diddy Kong Racing. Like, I just had to. And perhaps is a modified version that could transform into a plane during gliding segments. King K. Rool got a miniature gangplank galleon. The best comparison I could think of is the land ship from Mario Kart 8. Link's turn. It's Link's turn, and this was a very tough choice as I had two vehicles in mind. The Master Cycle and the Master Cycle Zero. I ended up going with both. Yeah, I went with both. We're moving on. Okay, well, Zelda's supposed to be here. Uh, Zelda didn't load in, it seems, but Zelda... Oh, yeah. There we go. Zelda's just taking a while to load in, it seems. Zelda would get the Spirit Train. I didn't have any other idea what she could drive, so Spirit Train it is. Ganondorf was a very tough, one of the toughest, in fact, to assign a vehicle to, but in the end, I went with another horse-themed vehicle. A bike. A bike based on Ganon's steed. And then, this next one is a wild idea. So for Samus, rather than giving her the gunship like a normal person, I gave her her Rocket League car. I gave Samus the Samus's gunship Rocket League car. We're moving on. Since Fox, Falco, and Wolf all ended up on the roster, why are these taking so long to load? Why are some of these taking so long to load? Since Fox, Falco, and Wolf are all on the roster, I wanted to give them all separate vehicles. So Fox gets a Landmaster, Falco gets an R-Wing, and Wolf gets a Wolfen. I debated giving the R-Wing and Wolfen wheels, but decided it would be fine if they just hovered, since the customization features of Mario Kart 7 and 8 won't be in this game. Yoshi, I decided to be a bit silly for this one, giving him the Yoshi bike from Mario Kart 8. I was thinking of giving this to Mario, but I think it works better with Yoshi. I'm not gonna lie. And with that, we're halfway through the roster. And with 20 characters left to go, we're starting with Kirby, who would get a cart based on the Warp Star. And the reason I gave Kirby a cart and not the Warp Star itself is because you can unlock the ability to use any cart with any character. I feel like some characters just might not fit in, or might not fit on the Warp Star very well, so a cart makes the most sense. King Dedede would get the Rex Wheelie from Kirby Air Ride. It would likely have to be modified to fit all characters, but I could see them... I could see it working. Maybe it wouldn't need modification, I don't know. Now, I did mention Ganondorf being one of the hardest characters, but Pikachu was the hardest character to make a vehicle for. But in the end, I based it off of this obscure, Japan-only Takaratomi toy, which you can see here. Why does this thing even exist? On the opposite end, Pokemon Trainer was very easy to choose. I just gave them the 01, the Neo 1. Not the 01, that's from the original Pokemon Snap. I gave them the Neo 1 from New Pokemon Snap. And this is a very obvious pick. Captain Falcon gets the Blue Falcon. We're moving on. Oh yeah, so Marth, I had to make a really deep cut for Marth because I didn't know what Marth could drive, but I guess we're getting another horse-themed vehicle. This time, a white and yellow horse-themed bike with a flower, based on Fire Emblem Heroes of all things. And we're moving on. Here's our 5th horse vehicle. Oh my gosh, there's so many horses. Pit would get a vehicle based on the Lightning Chariot, probably fused with the Prancer from Mario Kart 8. This does begin a bit of an easy streak. Olimar obviously gets a cartified version of the Hokotaze ship, and Rob would get the BLS, one of his signature karts from Mario Kart DS. Villager and Isabelle already have signature vehicles, so Villager would get the Streetle, Isabelle would get the City Tripper. Oh my gosh, why are these taking so long to load? What the heck? The Inkling. I had a choice of the Splat Buggy and the Ink Striker. I took both. I just chose both. I didn't want to cut either of them. Springman, what is wrong with you? Why are you... Oh my gosh. Springman ended the easy streak, so I had to really think outside the box for this one. What if I took one of the cars from Twintail Stage and turned it into a convertible? Yeah. Springman just drives around on one of the cars from Twintail Stage. Then Chibi-Robo, easily the strangest pick in the entire roster, because it's a series that never really sold well in the West, and the last game that released was a commercial failure. It was released 6.5 years ago. However, there is still a dedicated fan base for the series, and that's what pushed me to add Chibi-Robo to this roster. Chibi-Robo would drive Chassis GT, the final Chibi ride from Chibi-Robo Park Patrol. And now we're on to the third-party characters. Sonic the Hedgehog is a character who I know many wanted as DLC for Mario Kart 8, but alas, he never made it in. Sonic the Hedgehog would drive the Speedstar, his vehicle from the All-Stars Racing series and Team Sonic Racing. Now, Mega Man here was a very interesting choice. He was a very interesting one to choose a vehicle for, because before the creation of this video, I had no idea Mega Man had a racing game. Mega Man would drive the Rush Roadster from Mega Man Battle and Chase. Now, Pac-Man, absolute must for the roster. He's in the Mario Kart arcade titles. However, rather than using a vehicle from Arcade GP, I gave him his car from Pac-Man World Rally. Another game I had no idea existed, but once again, here we are. Now, these two characters, there's no chance they're getting in. I just put them in for the sake of putting them in. Crash Bandicoot obviously has his own racing game, so if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have featured him in this roster. He would drive the Team Bandicoot kart. And as for Steve, well, Minecraft is the best-selling game of all time. That is the only reason I put Steve in this roster. So, Steve, he would have a minecart for his vehicle. Oh, and by the way, the Mii's don't have a signature vehicle. They just get access to all vehicles from the get-go, so we're moving on. So, the characters and carts are done. But what about some glaring omissions? Well, rather than giving them their own slots on the roster, I decided to give every character at least one costume. I won't go over every one of them, but here are some examples. Now, I also had the idea that some costumes could get their own signature vehicles, while most simply get recolors, hence why Link and Inkling get two vehicles. In an essence, the alternate costumes pack much, much more into the roster. Some characters would also get multiple costumes, such as Pokemon Trainer, who would get an outfit based on every protagonist in Pokemon history, and Captain Falcon, who would get the Blood Falconel alongside a classic costume, Inkling, who gets multiple genders and colors, and even more. Now, next up, it wouldn't be a chaotic kart racer without items, would it? Now, first, let's start out with some items taken directly from Mario Kart. The normal items returning from Mario Kart are the green shell, red shell, banana, mushroom, star, lightning, blue shell, and bullet bill. But what's that in the middle? That's right, special items are back, baby! Do note that some may share similar or identical functions, however. Now, let's get into these special items, starting with Mario's special item, the Fire Flower, which acts just like how the fireballs worked in Mario Kart Double Dash, sending free fireballs forwards. It's also the exact same way the Fire Flower works in Tour. Next, Luigi gets the Boo, acting like in Mario Kart 8, stealing items while making while making Luigi invisible and invincible. However, Luigi is incapable of stealing special items, because we don't need to give Luigi special animations for every single item. Bowser would get the Bowser Shell as a special item, working just like in Double Dash. Now, I did think about giving Bowser Shell the Tour functionality, which is more like a red shell, like a combination of a blue shell and a red shell in a way, going straight forwards in the center of the track and going towards nearby racers, but I feel like the Double Dash method, it really just helps add to the chaos. So we're going Double Dash as Bowser Shell, and then Bowser Jr. would get the hammers from Tour. And these would be... This item would have Bowser Jr. throw several hammers that home in on close-by racers. The Heart item also returns from Double Dash and Tour as Peach's special item, protecting Peach from all items for a while, and even being capable of picking some of them, such as shells, up off the ground. The Piranha Plant returns as Daisy's special item. Our first brand new special item is Rosalina's special item, Luma. Luma heads forwards to the nearest racer, slowing them down briefly, stealing free coins, and giving those coins to Rosalina. Similarly to Double Dash, Wario's special item is the Bomb Bomb. Yep, that's right. Only Wario gets the Bomb Bomb in this game. It works identically to every other Mario Kart. And now, a quick history lesson. Did you know that Waluigi was invented for the sole purpose of being Wario's tennis partner in Mario Kart 64? Or not? I can't speak even with a script. Mario Tennis 64. Not Mario Kart 64. Waluigi was invented for being Wario's partner in Mario Tennis 64. Well, Waluigi's special item has him pull out a tennis racket and begin rapidly launching tennis balls at random directions. The giant banana also returns as Donkey Kong's special item, splitting into free normal bananas when someone or an item hits it. This next one, however, is interesting. The banana barrels from Mario Kart Tour return as Diddy Kong's special item, firing 16 bananas forwards automatically. This is a pretty bad special because you can easily run into the bananas. Next up, the Yoshi Egg acts like a red shell before exploding into free random items upon colliding with a racer. And finally, despite technically not being a Mario series item, King K. Rool's special item is the Blunderbuss, shooting out a single cannonball, then sucking up anything nearby, whether it be items, coins, or even other racers. Just make sure to watch out for explosives. All of the Zelda series items are special items, so let's take a look at what those are. Link's special item is the Boomerang, working identically to how the Boomerang flower works in Mario Kart. Zelda's item is the Light Arrow. I'm so terrible at reading scripts. Zelda will take aim at the nearest racer upon the pressing of the item button, then fire the next time it's pressed. If the enemy racer gets too far, Zelda will instantly fire at them. And finally, Ganondorf's special item is the Dead Man's Volley, which has him fire a homing ball of light forwards, destroying any racer who gets hit. What? No. Launching any racer who gets hit into the air. If this collides with an item, rather than being destroyed, it bounces back towards Ganondorf, who can knock it back again. However, Ganondorf can only bounce the Dead Man's Volley back 3 times before he suffers the full punishment of the item. Metroid has 2 items associated with it. First, the Screw Attack is an item that can be thrown forwards or backwards to create a trap. If someone drives over the Screw Attack, they begin spinning uncontrollably, speeding them up and making them invincible, but completely removing any control they had over their carts, causing them to ricochet off walls and into the off-road, or even off the course entirely. This could be deadly on certain tracks. And the second item is Samus's special item, the Super Missile. The Super Missile acts like a combination of a green shell and a bomb, being fired straight forwards until it hits a wall or a racer, then exploding. The Super Missile is unaffected by gravity. The Star Fox series has 4 items associated with it. The first of these items is the Smart Bomb, which can be thrown forwards or backwards to create a large explosion, lasting multiple seconds. However, its explosion is less powerful than the special item explosives, due to the fact that any racer can use it, and it's very, very difficult to dodge it. Fox's special item is Supply Rings. Upon using this item, 3 rings are fired forwards. The first being silver, the second gold, and the third is star-shaped, which you can see on screen. Any racer who drives through these rings is given a speed boost, and driving through all 3 gives a temporary shield. Falco's item is the Great Fox, which flies over Falco, firing lasers down at nearby racers, and finally, Wolf's special item is Wolfpack, which has 3 Wolfins go in front of Wolf, firing lasers rapidly. The Kirby series gets 4 items, 2 normal and 2 special. The bomber can be placed on the ground or thrown forwards, where it will stay in place for a total of 15 seconds or until someone runs into it. If it's not thrown after 15 seconds, it will explode in the driver's hands. The Crackler works similarly to the bomb cannon in Tour, firing cannonballs in an arc that explode into colorful fireworks upon hitting the ground. Kirby's special item is the Star Rod, allowing Kirby to fire 3 stars forward. And King Dedede's special item is the Gordo, which can be thrown forwards and sticks to any surface it touches, spinning you out if you dare get close. The Pokemon series includes a grand total of 5 items, 2 of which are special. First, we have the Assault Vest, an item that will give your racer complete protection from all items until hit, but reduces speed, and removes the ability to use items until it's destroyed by getting hit by an item or falling off the track. Next, we have the Float Stone, which increases top speed for a short time, but greatly, and I mean greatly, lowers your driver's weight, making them susceptible to getting bumped off the track or into walls. And our third item for the Pokemon series is the Rocky Helmet, which causes anyone who bumps into the racer using the Rocky Helmet to spin out. Basically a star without the speed boost, and it's also a lot weaker, and you're not invincible. So pretty much, it's just a worse star. Pikachu's special item is the Light Ball, which causes Pikachu to leave a trail of electricity behind itself as it drives, while Pokemon Trainer's special item is the Master Ball, which replaces their vehicle with one of the free legendary Pokemon briefly. These Pokemon are Spectrair, who runs across the ground extremely quickly, Lunala, who flies through the air, allowing turns to be completely skipped, and Reshiram, who fires beams of flame at nearby racers. The F-Zero series only gets a single item, Captain Falcon's special item, the Falcon Flyer. This special item would allow Captain Falcon to fly over top the course, creating shortcuts that most racers wouldn't be able to do. And I forgot to show that there. Okay, here's the Falcon Flyer. The Fire Emblem series also only gets one item, Marth's special item, the Falchion. This works by having Marth stab forward 3 times with the Falchion, giving quick speed boosts while popping anyone who gets in the way into the air. The Kid Icarus series has 2 items, the Centurion, which summons 3 Centurions that circle your cart. When you press the item button, they'll all simultaneously fire arrows of light in the direction they're currently facing. The second item is Pit's special item, Great Sacred Treasure, which causes Pit to replace his vehicle with the Great Sacred Treasure in pursuit mode, giving a large speed boost and allowing it to fire lasers rapidly. Pikmin has a single item, Olimar's special item, the Winged Pikmin, which would allow Olimar to be carried above the course, setting his cart on autopilot. R.O.B's special item is the Gyro. Upon the use of this item, R.O.B will begin rapidly rotating its body, dropping spinning gyro tops on top of the course to spin out racers. Animal Crossing series has 2 items, both of which are specials. Villager can plant a tree on the course, acting as nothing more than a barricade that drops berries that can be used as mushrooms when someone runs into it. Isabel's fishing rod, on the other hand, can be used to grab another racer and pull them straight to you, spinning them out in the process. This can help slow down racers at crucial moments, but it can be risky if they're dragging an item, as it can result in the item hitting you. The fishing rod can also be used to pick items off the ground. The Splatoon series has 3 items, 2 of which are available to all racers, and the third is a special item. First, we have the Splat Bomb, an explosive item that can be thrown forwards or backwards. It rolls a slight bit before exploding into a splatter of ink that slows down anyone who drives on it. In addition, the explosion itself causes spinouts. Similarly, the Ink Mine is an explosive that can only be placed behind the driver, staying there until another driver runs over it, at which point it explodes, creating a splatter of ink and slowing racers down. Inkling's special item is the Killer Whale, which fires a massive ink beam that even cuts through walls. Arms gets 1 item, Springman's special item, the Arms Rush. This item allows Springman to power up and fire a flurry of long-range punches. And from this point on, every series only gets 1 item. Chibi-Robo's is the Chibi Blaster, firing dozens of small energy projectiles forwards. And finally, the third-party items. Sonic's special item is the Chaos Emerald. The Chaos Emeralds, turning him into Supersonic and causing him to rocket through the sky with complete invincibility. Definitely a very powerful special item. Mega Man's special is the Rush Jet, allowing him to fly through the sky. I wonder where I've heard that before. Pac-Man's special is the Power Pellet, causing him to grow giant in size, destroying everything in his path. Crash's special is Nitro Crate, which can be thrown forwards, but explodes immediately upon hitting a surface, so your only way of doing anything with that is through sniping. Steve's special is Block, which has him place several blocks behind him, blocking paths in the order of free dirt, free wood, 3 cobble, 2 iron, and 1 explosive TNT block. Oh, and the Mii's, well, perhaps they could be customizable, with about 80% of the special items available if they're special. Obviously, things like Dead Man's Volley or Chaos Emeralds wouldn't be available, however. And with every item covered, it's time for the track selection. With 48 tracks, I sprinkled in a few from other racing games, but the majority of the tracks are brand new. As you can see, the cups are based on a variety of series, although Mario obviously ended up getting a little more. On the top row, we have the Mushroom Cup, Banana Cup, Triforce Cup, Pokeball Cup, R-Wing Cup, and That Fish Cup. On the bottom row, we have the Bell Cup, not to be confused with the Bell Cup from Mario Kart 8, which is based on the cat bell, not bells from Animal Crossing, which, of course, the Bell Cup came in the same DLC pack as the Crossing Cup, the Egg Cup, the Warp Star Cup, the Screw Attack Cup, the Pellet Cup, and finally, the Special Cup. We're going to be looking at all these cups, starting with the Mushroom Cup. The Mushroom Cup is your basic beginner's cup, full of easy yet fun tracks. The first track of the bunch is Mario Circuit, which would have a brand new layout. The second track would be Excite Bike Arena, ripped directly from Mario Kart 8. Track 3 would be Dreamland, a simple track themed around the Kirby series. And finally, some kind of track based on Wii Fit will finish off the first cup of Super Smash Kart. Cup 2 is the Banana Cup, with slightly more difficult tracks. The first track is a port of DK Jungle from 3DS and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So, from Mario Kart 7, I mean, not Mario Kart 3DS. From Mario Kart 7 and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Track 2 is Melee Melee Island, which would have you drive around the outskirts of the titular island from Pokemon Sun and Moon. The third track is Hyrule Field, which have you drive around Hyrule Field. And finally, we have Hot Top Volcano, a modified version of the track of the same name from Diddy Kong Racing. The third cup is the Triforce Cup. The first course of the Triforce Cup would be Hyrule Circuit, ported from Mario Kart 8. Next up is Woohoo Island, which would be a combination of Woohoo Loop and Maka Woohoo. Up next is a brand new course, Autumn Mountain from Paper Mario, the Origami King. And finally, the Triforce Cup would finish off with the Great Plateau, a single lap track that takes you around the Great Plateau, through snowy mountains, and even the Temple of Time. The Pokeball Cup kicks off with Pokemon Stadium. This track would be a large stadium course with giant statues of Pokemon and many places to perform stunts, along with several Pokemon that attack the racers. Track 2 is Garreg Mach Monastery, for our obligatory Fire Emblem track. Next up is Inkopolis Circuit, a track that takes you through the titular area, Inkopolis. Finally, the fourth track is Kanto. It would be a single lap track taking you around various landmarks of the Kanto region. The R-Wing Cup opens up with City Ruins, a track based on Kirby and the Forgotten Land. The second track is based on Chibi-Robo, being the living room. Track number 3 is Palutena's Temple, and track 4 would be Corneria, taking you around Corneria City. And then we move on to the Zapfish Cup. We're halfway there, and the Zapfish Cup would set the difficulty for the rest of the cups to come. The rest of the tracks to come, even, up until the final cup. The first track is Peach's Castle, which has you racing both inside and outside the castle. There could even be a brief segment where you drive through Bob-omb Battlefield. The second track of the Zapfish Cup is Moray Towers, which would have you race down one of the titular towers before you reach the center, then climb up the second of the two before being fired out of a cannon back to the first tower and starting over again. The third track is Lumio City, a track that would take you around, well, Lumio City, of course. The track could possibly even have some elements of Paris Promenade, due to Lumios itself being based on Paris. And finally, the fourth track of the Zapfish Cup is Deep Sea Metro, a track that takes you through dark, abandoned subway tunnels. The Bell Cup is an interesting one for sure, as it is the only cup in the entire game to be made exclusively of retro tracks. The first track is Yoshi Circuit, Mute City is the second, and the final is Animal Crossing. However, one track in this Grand Prix isn't ported from Mario Kart, being Ocean View, the third track. Unlike the other tracks in this cup, Ocean View is ported from Team Sonic Racing. The Egg Cup's first two tracks are both Yoshi themed. Track 1 is a remade version of GBA Yoshi Desert, while track 2 is a new track based on Crafted World. The other two tracks in the cup both come from series not represented by a racer, with track 3 being by Honest as Like, and track 4 being Mount Aleph, I think it's Aleph, from Golden Sun, which would have you driving inside the mountain's caves and through the Soul Sanctum. With each passing lap, the caves will crumble more and more. The Warp Star's first cup is Halberd, a track that has you race along the various areas of the battleship Halberd, such as the deck, engines, etc. The second track of the cup is Zora's Domain, a Breath of the Wild themed track that has you drive through and around Zora's Domain, driving up waterfalls, climbing Ploymus Mountain, and even encountering a Lionel. The third track of the cup, Spring Circuit, is an arms-themed track loosely based on Spring Stadium, with a variety of hazards that, rather than spinning racers out, simply bounce them backwards or upwards. Perhaps one could use one of those spring hazards to dodge a blue shell or take shortcuts. And finally, Castle DDD has racers climb up a steep hill before racing through the insides of DDD's castle. The Screw Attack Cup starts off with Planet Zebus, a single lap track that has the racers drive through various locations from Metroid and Super Metroid, starting in Criteria, then going down to Brinstar, then into Norfair, before entering an underwater segment in Meradia, and looping back around to Criteria, before entering Torian, racing through exploding tunnels, and finally finishing the race by boarding Samus's gunship. Venom has you race through the various lava-filled environments of the planet Venom from Star Fox, including a brief encounter with Andross. Arcterra is another Metroid track, taking the form of this game's ice track, and would have a variety of both icy and mechanical environments. And finally, Big Blue is ported from Mario Kart 8. Now, we're nearing the end with our second to last cup, the Pellet Cup. The Pellet Cup goes all in on third-party tracks, with its first track being Sewer Speedway, a direct port of a track from Crash Team Racing, its second track being Green Hill Zone, an original track based on the iconic first area of Sonic the Hedgehog, complete with a loop, and its final track being Wily Castle from Mega Man. Its third track, on the other hand, is the only first-party track in the cup, Garden of Hope from Pikmin 3. And at long last, we've reached the iconic Special Cup. Here, the tracks reach their peak difficulty. The first track of the cup, however, takes it fairly easy with Pac-Man Stadium from Mario Kart Arcade GP DX. The second track of the cup, however, kicks it up a notch with New World Circuit, a Minecraft track that takes you through a variety of biomes and locations, such as villages, mountains, caverns, strongholds, and even the Nether. This track takes some inspiration from Tokyo Blur and Mario Kart 8, changing the route each lap while still looping. The last two tracks of the game are Bowser's Castle and Rainbow Road, each taking elements of previous iterations of these tracks while still having a completely new layout. And that's everything. The 40 character roster, the vehicles, the items, the tracks. Everything has been talked about. There is definitely no battle mode to talk about. No, stop. I'm not talking about battle mode. This video took long enough to create as it is. I've had to record this multiple times. Ugh, fine. I'll talk about battle mode. Battle mode would be similar to Mario Kart 8. Deluxe, of course. Same modes with some new settings, allowing you to change the amount of racers, remove the time limit while adding a deathmatch type mode in the process, etc. In addition, there would also be one brand new battle mode. Kart Strikers mode is basically, what if Mario Kart with Rocket League? On either side of the battle map, there's a goal, and your goal is to get the Mario Strikers ball into your opponent's goal, while also defending your goal from the ball. As for the 8 battle maps, they are as follows. I've seen some interesting ideas for battle maps, and for Mario, I chose this one called Downtown Delfino, a fan-made battle map by the BitBlock. I'm only going to do one battle map per series, so Zelda gets a map based on Castletown. I could see there being a lot of spaces to run and hide in this, lots of space to run and hide in the circular map. Easily the most obvious choice for a battle map based on the Kirby franchise, City Trial would be a multi-layered map with no shortage of places to run if things get a little dicey. It would likely, however, get shrunken down immensely. Wyndham Stadium is your simple, no-holds-barred arena. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, and absolutely perfect for Strikers mode. New Horizons is a battle map based on an Animal Crossing island, complete with bridges across rivers, staircases up cliffs, and houses randomly strewn about. And the best part? It's completely randomly generated. And since the battle maps are all completely brand new, Urchin Underpass had to be replaced with something else. And that new map is Blackbelly Skate Park, which could be a scaled-down version of its Splatoon counterpart. Ramen Bowl is the battle map representing the ARM series. Just like Wyndham Stadium, there's nowhere to run, although this map is significantly smaller, making it very chaotic. And the final battle map is Chow Garden, based on the Chow Gardens from not Mario. I can't speak. I'm sorry guys, but I'm terrible at reading scripts. Based on the Chow Gardens from Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. And finally, that's everything. For real this time. Do I think this is exactly what Nintendo would make? No. Do I think the roster is reasonable? No. Do I think the game would be too ambitious to realistically make? With this roster and this course selection? Definitely. I think a Nintendo Kart or a Smash Kart is definitely pretty likely, but I don't think this prediction is what we're gonna get at all. I did a terrible job at making a prediction. My only real prediction is that it will be a Nintendo Kart. Do I think this is more likely than Mario Kart 9? Definitely. And with that, I'll see you all in the future. Farewell.